story. I've got a strong French accent, so it's going to be the worst 20 minutes of your life. But there's going to be some coffee next door, don't worry. So, I had to reduce the presentation because it's a 1 hour one into a 20-minute one, so I'm going to stick to 6 points. First point, the question. Why an MBA? So at the end of the day, it's because it's not just a techno, it's also business. Major business school like HBS. The cat turning those pixels into information, it means that I know where the cat is. I can say, this thing, it's a cat. That's big, actually, you know, and most of the machine learning business is into being able to identify the cat. Then being able to modelize and say when the cat is being normally and not normally, and maybe later on say that the cat is sleeping, the cat is playing, the cat is doing this and that, that's turning data into insight. Once you've got that, you're able to maybe see a bit from further and say, you know what, when he's eating and sleeping and then eating again, he's gonna, and it's around, and the light is like that, he's gonna have a craze like that. So you're able to predict. And then, when he go in a craze like that next to a sofa, you know he's gonna destroy it. So maybe there's a prescription. Maybe you know that your webcam should flash, or there's a sound or an alarm or something should go on to prevent him from destroying the sofa. So the cat is nice, but change the cat by a prospect or a client, it's the same thing. I'm going to give you one business example for which I'm famous. It's the TV ad, okay? And I'm going to stop that because it's disrupting. Voilà. Okay, so the TV ad. You airing a TV ad, being able to measure the impact of a TV ad, it's turning data into information, okay? Being able to know if this impact of your TV ad that you had was above the normal or below the normal, it's being able, like, basically to modelize, okay? Then being able to predict, say, you know what, if tomorrow I do an ad on this channel at this time of the day, it's gonna have this business impact. That's prediction. And then being able to do a media planning, so using machine learning to do a media planning, that's prescription, because you know where to put your ad. And business-wise, just the first thing, being able to read the business impact of a TV ad, that's huge. Okay, I'm going to switch that. I'll do that for the Q&A. So first reason, people think that prediction is only about the future. No, prediction is about to say there's a cat on the picture. It's about the present also. Second thing, there's two deadly myths, okay? Two things why companies fail. If they believe in it, they will fail. And it's not about this guy, it's about this one. The ideal data scientist, the unicorn, the guy who knows it all. I have a better slide for that, this one. So that's the biggest reason failure. So they think that if they hire a data scientist, the guy will solve the problem, and they're going to be rich. There's two misconceptions. The first one is because he got great tool, or very often I'm hired and people ask me, what is the algorithm I should use? What is the algorithm that solves my problem? And because they think that there's an utility belt and you're going to solve the problem. The other thing is thinking that the guy is an alien, so it's Superman, and he's just a genius, and he's going to turn around the company. This is wrong. And actually, very often, that's why the data scientist quit. The guy that you hired very expensively will quit. Because I'll explain why. I'm going to switch that, but we behaved the same way in late 90s, early 2000 with the webmasters. We thought that the webmaster will do it all on the internet. You need a hero, but it's an engineer. Because today, machine learning, it's about engineering. It's not about R&D anymore, okay? It's just about engineering. It's about the good question, what do I have to solve it? You know, tools, resources, etc. How do I do it? And when I've done it, I'm trying to improve it. That's about engineering. The tools, there's so many tools. I know that DataIQ is there. There's a lot of great tools around it, okay? So that's the first misconception. You don't need a superhero, you need a hero, okay? The second misconception is to think that data is enough. That bigger is better. No, bigger is not better. Better is better, okay? I'm sure that you know that, but it's good to repeat that to your boss. You know, it's not because you've got a lot of data and that you have a data lake and a PhD that the thing will be done. Because a data lake, this is a data lake, okay? Again, I'm speeding up, I'm sorry. Next thing. Next point. Okay, so now you know 3 things that you have to avoid. First, misconception about machine learning. Think about turning data into information than thinking about prediction. And then the 2 main reasons is that think that a guy will solve a problem and think that data is enough. Why is it so important? Because we are living history in the making. Okay, it's not me, it's all of them. I mean, there's a lot of people saying that. I'm going to make a comparison to the Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution was turning something into something of more value with control of energy. So the first one was basically coal and steam. So we're able to use coal and steam, and we're able to either move things or transform it. The second one was the control of petrol, oil, and electricity. Remember when I'm saying also, I'm always saying, machine learning is about turning data into something of more value, to information prescription. So we are living exactly the same thing. The first revolution, the steam, was this guy. I mean, when we look back in like 50 years, when people will look back at the present time and they will think about the information revolution, they will say the first one was this guy, okay? Not very sexy and so on, but he did the first revolution. We thought about everything, but at the end of the day, it was not that impactful. Now we are there. So everything changed. I mean, the way we access to the data, the way we store it. I mean, every single thing changed, except one actually, but everything changed. I'm going to take 2 important things. The first thing is that no, it's not a support anymore, like this, you know, a support function. No, it's the product or the service. It's what you're selling. The other thing that is really key and that changed actually for the TV ad was really key is that whatever you do today, you are creating a signal. I mean, when I was young, I could spend months without creating an information, a signal in data, because I was not using my phone, I didn't have a phone, I was not sick, and so on and so on. And my teacher was grading me on a paper. Now, try to escape. Try to spend one day without creating a data. It's impossible. The subject is not the amount of data that you create. The subject is that all the signal that you're creating, if someone has access to the data, is able to know exactly what you do. The real world today creates a signal in the virtual world, and if you're smart enough, and if you can read the signal through noise, you know exactly what's going on in the real world. So you can read what's going on. I said one thing didn't change. And this one thing is this. You guys, and then the one who develop, we are still creating an algorithm. So this is funny because it's Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory, and he's trying to create an algorithm on friendship. And we all know it's stupid. Don't laugh too hard. But actually, no one is laughing, so it makes things easy. A very common example to explain machine learning, or to explain machine learning, is to say, okay, I give this machine like 10,000 of chess gameplay, and the machine will not only know how to play chess, but will be able to beat you, okay, and be the world champion. We've seen that with the Go game actually lately. But what did I say right now? I said that I did program a chess game without writing an algorithm. It means that machine learning will open the door where the last thing that was human, writing an algorithm, we don't have to write it anymore. Okay? We are being Sheldon here today. We all are being Sheldon. We're all trying to create algorithm, to modelize, and to do a software, to create a software where you can use machine learning. Because at the end of the day, everything changed, as I said. So you've got the IoT, the collection, the way we store and process, but the way we process, we still had this human design algorithm. Now we've got this. So digital transformation, like that, I mean, there's a block road. Like this, you go all the way. Business impact, no one is safe. Let's put it clear, no one is safe. Because at the end of the day, turning data into information, this last part was your job. You today, when you come here, you've got a lot of data, you turn it into data, people who speak, slides and so on, you turn it into information, and then you turn it into, you start to modelize and have some knowledge, and you're able to go and see your boss and say, you know what, I think that the marketing goes this way and we should do that. So you're doing it. Now the machine learning is doing it, okay? So it's going to be simply everywhere. Really everywhere. I'm going to go the landscape. If you want to take any industry, take your industry, Google it, have a look. I'm pretty sure that there's a startup using machine learning to disrupt your industry. Okay? It's already everywhere. So, how did it begin? Who knows about this one? Yeah? Yes, I see there? Are you too? Okay. So Google bought the biggest CAPTCHA company, and now when you use a CAPTCHA, did you notice that it really did change? I mean, before when a CAPTCHA, it was like letters and numbers that was really difficult to read, and you had to type it, yeah? Remember that time? CAPTCHA is the code that you put to check that you're not a robot, a human. Today, when you use a CAPTCHA, they will show you like 9 images, and they will ask you, in which image is there a tree? In which image is there a patio, a car, or whatever? You know what you're doing? You're working for Google. You're all Google employee. You're all very nice boy, nice girl, labelizing picture for Google. They are using you. I mean, nothing new, huh? But it's one example that I'm using you. So first business impact that there's a race to have a good data, not a lot of data, but to have good data. Google, if he wants to have a lot of pictures, he has. Okay, it's not the issue about big data with Google. The issue that they want to have properly labelized data by human, and now they're using. So there's a huge race on this one. Next race is data into information. Being able to see is a good example. The things are moving so fast on the the visualization. It's incredible. Okay, image recognition and video recognition. It's incredible. Okay. Next thing, and we spoke about that. It's about modelizing, and the last 2 slides were great about this subject. Now we are able to modelize. The story about the vector is, I think, it's awesome because basically, what are we saying? We're saying that capital is a vector. So basically, capital is what? Germany minus Berlin, okay? But if I take France minus Paris, it's also a capital. So that means that Germany minus Berlin plus France plus Paris equal France. What I'm saying is that once I start to turn things, concepts into vectors, into models, I can do algebra. So I can start to create stuff. So not only I can understand what's going on and modelize, but also I can create. I can say this share minus this share plus this share, and I create a new chair. So not only in business-wise, it's going to be able to read better information from you, it's going to be able to see, it's going to be able to understand what's going on, and it's going to be able to perform operation on concept, on what's going on. It will be able to create. So, as I said, everybody is at risk. How will it start? It will start by the easy expertise. So, is there any accountant in the room? There's going to be a big disruption in the accounting world. Accounting, CRM, lawyers, ERP, everybody, I mean, there's no escape, okay? For instance, one example is for you guys, for the devs, fixing bugs, I mean, detecting and fixing bugs, we can use machine learning to do it. That's, for me, the typical, that's an easy expertise. So there's a set of rules clearly defined, and you have to operate them in the real world. That's a set of expertise. And now, I mean, the 20th century was all about the car, and now we are losing the driving of a car, okay? So, yes, a robot is going to take your job, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm a bit stressful on purpose, but it's not completely true. It's going to help you doing a better job, okay? Usually, when I work with company, there's 3 steps. They look for the big disruption, what's going on in 20 years, and they all know about that. So that's the easy one. They all know that in 20 years, it will change like that. I mean, it doesn't take long. Then there is the midterm change. That's a bit more difficult, but very often they can see it by looking at what startups and the new successful guy are doing. That's a dangerous one as well. But they find it, and very often there's some issue to change because they are doing business this way, they are making money this way, and if they go the other way, they might destroy some value, the sales guy are not ready, and so on and so on. And then the most difficult one is to find the 3-month project that is easy to do. There's a lot of opportunity, but very often they don't see it, and that's the next challenge. So, what's next? What do you need to know? Basically, I'm sorry, I've got the timer, but okay, good. No, I'm going to stop my timer. Voila. What do you need to know? We need to know that the time is now. Why the time is now? Every time you use Google, I'm going to take Google. Every time you use Google search, by clicking on the link, you make Google smarter. So how do you compete against Google search? I mean, they are getting smarter and smarter every day. When you have a choice between two search engines, most likely Google is going to give a better answer. So you use again Google, and Google get even better. So that's the big difference or the big key thing in machine learning, is that my client, every time they're using the machine learning product that we created, the product is getting smarter itself, is getting experience. The company is getting better, smarter. The service is better, so the client is more likely to stay. And then when they pitch against another company about the product, they got something where they are better. And so the competition lose the competition against clients who are interested in this service based on machine learning, but whatever, actually, even if they don't know or they don't care, they lose the competition. So you grab all the clients who are interested into this, you grab them, so you get more experience, and your competitor doesn't grab any experience because he's left with a client who don't care about this product. You see what I mean? So it's key. The lesson here is that really the time is key. So I gave you a lot of reasons for failure. Actually, we had a lot of people giving you a reason for success. Start small. Very interestingly is that the successful company, they have a clear client, inside or outside, but they have a clear client with a clear role. Do it yourself. I know that one first talk, the guy insists on that, yes. I mean, you can use the black box, but at the end of the day, you want to understand what's going on, so do it yourself. Listen to people who have the same problem as you before listening to people who have a solution. What I mean is that before buying a tool that does it all, meet the guy who had the same kind of problem, okay? So, and the next question, the question for you is, think of what ML could do. So as I said, maybe don't think about prediction and predictive analytics. Just think about maybe how you, during the day, or your teams are turning data into information. So what thing you could do, and the thing I'm here today is because I think that you should own it. Most likely, if you are there, it's because you're interested in data, or you are the most interested about data in your company. So most likely, you're going to be the one who's on it. Maybe not the future CDO, or maybe the future CDO, but you're going to have to evangelize the rest of the company that machine learning, it's not just about the data scientist, it's also about you. So go have great ideas and a coffee. Thank you.